I feel like here lately I am just using my crock pot so much. In today's video, I'm gonna bring you 2 recipes that we recently tried, and both of these are such a good switch up when you need a crock pot meal, but maybe you're in the mood for something a little bit different. We have some buffalo chicken tacos that were amazing. We all love these. And then second, we're gonna be doing this bourbon chicken. So good, a perfect weeknight meal. Y'all don't want to miss these. Stay tuned. So this first recipe we're gonna make today are buffalo chicken tacos. And everything we're gonna make, for the most part, is gonna be made in the slow cooker. So that's what we're gonna get started with. I have about a pound of chicken breast here. This is about 2 chicken breasts. Ours are just cut in half horizontally. But we're gonna get these added to our slow cooker. To our chicken breast, we're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. We're also gonna add 1 teaspoon of paprika. We have a little bit of minced garlic as well. We have 1 packet, or about 3 tablespoons of the ranch seasoning powder. We have 1 medium onion chopped. And then we just have some buffalo sauce. This is the Frank's in the buffalo flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and add all of that in there. That was about a half a cup if you're wondering. And by the way, this is Luke from Cooking in the Midwest. On TikTok, this is his recipe. It looked so good when I saw it. I started to kind of mix it up and make it my own, but honestly, his recipe looks so good just as is. So that's what we're going with. All right, I'm gonna kind of toss it around just a little bit. I'll come and stir it as the chicken starts to cook. Let's get it kind of stirred up the best we can. All right, I'm gonna get a lid on here and I'm gonna cook this on high. It's probably only gonna take a couple hours. I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. All right, our chicken has been cooking a few hours. I've actually had it turned down to warm for probably the past hour. You can tell my mouth is watering as soon as I open that lid. Oh my goodness. Kids have come home from school and said it smells so good, because it really does. And how could you go wrong with chicken and buffalo sauce? You can see it's falling apart, so at this point I'm just gonna take my 2 forks and shred up the chicken, and I'm just gonna leave it on warm until it's right before ready to eat. We're gonna make this into some even more delicious fried up chicken tacos. These are gonna be so good. All right, it's time to fry up our buffalo chicken tacos. So to a large skillet here, I'm just melting down about a tablespoon of butter in the bottom of our pan. While that's melting, I'm gonna show you, these are the tortillas I'm gonna use for my family. This is the white corn tortillas. These are the ones that Luke put in his recipe. And I'm gonna be using some shredded mozzarella cheese. Of course, you could use whatever kind of shredded cheese you want. All right, I just brought my crock pot right over here beside my skillet. Got my little corn tortilla. Just gonna add a couple tablespoons of that chicken. Also gonna add just a little sprinkle of mozzarella in there. Spread it out, fold it over. I'll bring it back over to the skillet. I'm just gonna let these fry up until they are golden brown on both sides. All right, of course we're gonna serve these up with some ranch for dipping. Look how yummy that looks. Oh my goodness. Some ranch is gonna be so good. All right, y'all give this one a try. All right, so for this recipe, we're actually gonna be using some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We have about 3 pounds here, which is a good bit. I might not use all of this, but we're just gonna get these in the bottom of our slow cooker. To give you a measurement, probably about 2.5 pounds is fine. I might put all these in here, we'll see. I am gonna put some more chicken in here, but we're gonna go ahead and season this up with a little bit of salt and some fresh black pepper. All right, let's add a few more in here. A little more salt. A little more pepper on those. Now I'm gonna go ahead and scoot our whole slow cooker to the side. We're gonna make our delicious bourbon sauce, except for I'm not actually gonna be using bourbon today. You can use really any kind of liquid. You can use broth, bourbon, whiskey, apple juice. We're using apple juice. I saw a recipe for this, so we're kind of going on that, but kind of making it our own as well. So first we have half a cup of apple juice. We have half a cup of soy sauce. We have 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Try not to let it splash everywhere. I'm also adding half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. This is about 6 cloves of minced garlic, or about 2 tablespoons of garlic. Now we're just gonna whisk this little sauce together. All right, let's bring back over our chicken thighs. We're also gonna sprinkle on some red onion. I'm gonna add about half a cup, not quite all of this that we had chopped. And then last but not least, for now, we're gonna pour over that delicious sauce right over our chicken thighs. Lots of flavor in here. All right, I'm gonna kind of gently stir them around to get everything nice and coated in here. All right, this is gonna cook on high for about 3 or 4 hours. We're gonna keep an eye on it, and it should be nice and tender. We're gonna break it up with some forks. We are gonna add some cornstarch at the end to kind of thicken up this sweet, delicious sauce a little bit. But let's pop a lid on it. I'm gonna get it on high, and I'll see y'all in about 3 or 4 hours. All right, it has been about 4 hours exactly since we started our chicken. It is super tender. I just checked it. It is literally falling apart in here. So I'm gonna get that pulled apart, but we're gonna thicken up this sauce a little bit. So over here on the side, I just have a little bit of water, so a couple tablespoons of water, and then a couple tablespoons of cornstarch. We're essentially just making a simple little slurry. I'm gonna mix these together. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get all this chicken shredded up. I'm really just kind of breaking it up. I don't want it shredded up too much because I do want, you know, kind of bite-sized pieces in here. All right, so now I'm just gonna pour in my cornstarch, and I did go ahead and turn this down to warm a second ago. Now I'm just gonna give it a stir. Hopefully it'll thicken right up. And this is pretty much done. It's only 4 o'clock. I'm gonna make some rice to go along with it. I think we'll make some roasted broccoli as well. Yeah, for the most part, our chicken is done. Looks so good. Darren just tasted a bite. He said it is absolutely delicious. And our house smells wonderful, by the way. Okay, I'm gonna have to sneak a bite too. Gotta make sure it's fine before you serve it to people, right? Oh my gosh, that is delicious. I don't cook with chicken thighs the majority of the time, but I'm telling you, that is so tender. It is like a melt in your mouth. Delicious. This is gonna be so good. So to go along with our bourbon chicken tonight, I just have a little bit of rice working over here. And I think I'm gonna just roast up some broccoli to go along with that. I've shared how I roast my broccoli so many times, but it's quick and easy, so let me show you again. All right, I just have some chopped broccoli florets over here. They're already on this pan because a nice little husband, Darren, over there.
You're welcome.
Chopped them up and washed them up for me.
Hey, y'all.
So I'm just gonna give a light little drizzle of olive oil on my broccoli. And then as far as seasoning these, I'm gonna use some of this Mrs. Dash. It's the salt-free seasoning. It's the onion and herb flavor. Just because that bourbon chicken, we have the soy sauce in there and it's pretty salty, so I don't wanna add salt to everything in this meal. Good bit of seasoning though. Now we're just gonna toss it around. Let's get it back on our baking pan. And I have my oven at 425, and I will just roast these probably about 20-25 minutes, and I'll flip them halfway through. I like for them to get a little bit crispy, a little bit of those crispy edges. So these will go into the oven, finish up that rice, and we'll be ready to try our bourbon chicken. All right, I think I'm just gonna serve mine on a bed of some jasmine rice here. Bring over some of that bourbon chicken. Looks so good, so tender. And then just a few green onions on top to garnish our bourbon chicken. And this was such an easy dinner for a quick weeknight. Threw in the crock pot, did not take any time at all. And this is gonna gonna be so full of flavor. I'll give this one a try. All right, both of these recipes were so good. Both of them made it into our regular dinner rotation. And speaking of dinner rotation, I did recently post, it was my last video, 9 ideas with chicken. So many good ideas in there. If you're needing a couple more, I'll catch y'all over there and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye y'all.